again on a beautiful and lovely noon. Um, Drawing more comic book stuff live. Um, Today I wanted to just have fun and kind of procrastinating on another project I'm working on. So in order to break the monotony, I figured I would draw something, or at least try to draw something. I watch a lot of people on YouTube, and Vivi Mangaka, if you're not familiar with her, she great sequential artist. She draws a webtoon called Ye Olde Treehouse, and I've never met her. I don't know her that well, but I kind of like what she's doing, so I just thought I would give her a shout out, and at the same time, for fun, practice drawing her characters. I guess in a composed comic book cover style, or I guess movie poster style, because I guess she's putting out or she has plans to put out a animation. So I drew this the other day, just as a warm up, and I started getting into it, and I started drawing other characters. You can see here, really loosely, kind of stick figuring them out, and I had an idea, and I thought it was a good idea, so I would go ahead and try to try to complete it. So that's what we're doing today, because I'm procrastinating on other stuff. Sometimes it's good if you're working on something to take a break and either, I don't know, go outside, do something else. A lot of times I like to take a break from one project and start another, and sometimes that gets you your juices flowing, so that when you go back to the other project with fresh new eyes, you have like twice the amount of fresh eyes, because you've actually worked on something else. So I want to draw her larger, right? I want to kind of put her at the bottom here. So let's just hurry up. Let's hurry up and sketch out just the basic. There's her fingers here, right? We'll figure this out as we go along. I might make her smaller, right? Who knows yet at this point. So basically following the structure here, and also the loose, I guess, ideas I had for her other two characters here and there. We can go ahead and resize them, but I just want to get the rough indications of the basic character underneath. Taking care to, because I really like this image, and if I had more time, I would scan it in, blow it up, and trace it off my screen in order to fit this area here. But you know what? There are people out here on the YouTube or on the internet that can just go in with a ballpoint pen and do stuff. So I'm not using a ballpoint pen. But if people like that can do that, then I can just, rather than trace it, because I love tracing my own work. It makes it easier, especially if I blew it up. Then I know it's going to come out exactly like this or better, because I could change it up. But this way, but by eyeball, is probably one of the most difficult ways of tracing. I have a video called The Truth About Tracing, which talks about all the different kinds of ways you can trace. Now, I did omit, and not on purpose, one of the different ways you can trace is through the grid, right? You can scale it up. Say if you got a photograph, you want to grid it out, and basically, a square grid. You can make that half inch, and if you want to blow it up, you can blow it up from a half inch to 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, whatever you want. And that's a very ancient way of tracing. It's both by eye and by grid, so it's an extra. I'm doing this by eye right now, and I probably already made several mistakes. See, there's a thing called plumb lines. And a plumb line is basically, you put a tack with a string and a plumb or whatever, a heavy weight at the end, maybe a ring, a heavy ring, a washer of some sort. And gravity will make it perfectly vertical line. And those are plumb lines. So I'm noticing already, if I were to draw a plumb line to a fingertip to keep it even here, I feel like I've already put this hand too far this way. But, you know what? I'm going to keep the hand and I'm going to move the head over a little bit. I'm drawing live, so keep your, if there's anyone watching anyways, keep your comments and your text a little bit this video is for kids, so keep them kosher, I guess. Alright. Now I just want to go ahead and draw the simplest shapes. Alright, so that way I can that goes shorter. That way I can go in and draw the other characters a little bit more simple shaped. Right here. Her hair is going to go over this way. Just to block them all in. I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing 5 characters. So we have a lot to do within the next hour and a half. I don't want to be here any longer. Based on these guys. Okay. I want to put one of the guys up here. Alright, because there's 2 guys and 3 girls. I'm not positive I remember the names. There's a guy. Let's put a guy right here. And I'm working out the composition. Stay light. We might go over a little bit more. Yeah. Kind of lunging forward a little bit. Make them a little bit more that way. And one of the guys, we'll leave some room for a logo up here, so I'll put one of the other guys here. Just to block out those simple shapes. And the reason why I keep them simple is so that way I can easily change them if I want to from, if you notice, from here to there, right? So you want to keep everything simple, go light with your pencil, and we're going to put one of the girl characters here. I think this one here. I decided I was going to, I don't know if you can see that. We'll darken it up a little bit. Alright, she's got one hand going forward. Okay. And another one coming this way with that. Going this way and that arm there. Okay, so you see what I'm doing? Keeping the shapes nice and simple here. All right. So this guy, this is why I kept him light. So it's easy to erase because this is not planned. This is a tightrope I'm walking here. So enjoy hanging on the edge of your seat, waiting for me to fall off. Okay, we'll put him here, a little more this way. So that way, this character can invade to an extent, at least as far as here, or here. I mean, that's where her fist is right there. And then arm, head right here. And she lunges forward, and I want that other fist up here so you can see it. That dagger there. Maybe she falls forward a little bit more. Okay. And then we have this character here. So I'll definitely want to put right here. Put her head up here. Now, Fifi Mangaka has a very anime style, so I'm going to go ahead and do a anime style for this. I always talk about how it's important that people, oh, I need to look for my style, whatever. And I always talk about how important it is to have more than one style. So that you can, in turn, develop your own specific, which is very difficult to do these days because every style has been done and la la la, you know. You're either efficient at one style or you try to take it to a couple more styles. So, her fist is up here, but I want to stay within these borders, so let's move her fist down here. Other fist is still up here. Maybe lower. I am right now, the way I'm drawing, I have a phone right here, and it's kind of like where my head is. So I have to like dip from side to side of the phone, and that's terrible, but this is the best way for you guys to view it. And it's not, as much as it's not as comfortable as if I was not doing it this way. I really don't have a problem doing it, especially if it gives the viewer a better vantage point of what I'm doing here. It's got to be a little smaller there. And this is why it's good to make sure all your shapes are spread out and simplified using simple shapes before you get into the detail. Because, I mean, there are ways you could do this. If you're using digital, then forget about it. You're not going to have this problem because you can always move. But if you're doing it traditionally, you have to really be specific on how you're going to move your characters. Now, I noticed or place your characters as far as in the composition. And I'm noticing right now, I want her eye line a little lower there. When you're drawing ahead, it's a circle, right? You got a circle. So it's always a good idea to make sure you got the back in front of that eye line. Same thing with, now I'm doing this right now to show you what is a good idea. But in my head, this is all there, so I don't usually draw it out. But I like her eye line down there, a little lower. And her head will probably be a little smaller as well. So yeah, if this is boring you, you can dip out and come back. If you really want to see where the meat is, well, this is basically the meat, to be honest with you, but if it's boring, come back later, check out where I'm at. I'm not going to be here for that long. Like I said, I'm giving myself an hour and a half to at least put down the basic illustration. Pencil sketch, rather. Alright, I just want those basic shapes right there, here. And since you could put the logo right here, leaving space for the logo. Alright, and from here, since I've done everything loosely and lightly, I can always go ahead and change a lot of things. But I like the composition. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 characters, all laid out really nice and spaced within this. I don't know if you can see this outline here, here, and here, right? I really like the way she stylizes her faces, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do the same, following her cue, but not necessarily trying to duplicate how she does things, because I could never do that. Everybody has their own hand, their own, way of illustrating. So, but staying within the manga style, we'll go ahead and. How does she do it? Eyes are really big, but she does her eyes different than this. So, which one do I want to go first? Let's see. That was there. Alright, I guess I'm going to have to draw my way first, and then attempt to put her way on top of it. Now these are grown women, so I think one of them is this one right here, or this one here is a little younger, so there's different ways to communicate that to a viewer. And let's go ahead and do that. Hair. Next, you want to know exactly where all these things go. See, I'm putting her ear here, but her hair goes over her ear, so it probably won't stay there. I just want to know where it is. Understanding anatomy or proportion as far as a mannequin or a human body is concerned. I want to take in all this account. All right, and this at this angle, where our arms coming out here, shoulder's going to be over here. All right, and that's different from where the chest lands. And be right here. She's a grown woman, so she has some indications of that. Keeping it simple and trying to follow this guide that I've illustrated earlier. Keeping it very simple so that I can have the ability to change it up if I want to. move to this character here. Gradually, I just want it really rough and simple. I do every character and then proceed from there. I want her chest more puffed up, like I have it here. As if she's lunging forward to some kind of threat, like fearlessly. And you know what? That's the wrong line. It's not the wrong line. Actually, it's the right line. But what I want to do is show you underneath. All right, will be this. And the reason why that line is better is because it shows that chest. Not only in that gesture, but also you do, if that was a shape. If that were a three-dimensional shape, this is what it would do, right? Kind of like that. So we'll go that way. Or if it were a shirt, shape would go like this. If it were rib cage, you know what I'm saying. And we'll actually go up more. And the chest would go like this. Now this character is a little, I don't necessarily remember their names, but seems to be a little bit more athletic as far as her figure is. So I'm going to go ahead and draw her a little bit more athletic looking. So yeah, she's got more, more musculature, I guess. Now when you draw the head, you draw the ear, which is pretty much halfway on the other half right there would be the ear. Alright. Now her hair is curlier. So let's figure out if she's lunging this way. Oh yeah, we gotta at least take account for her, what's going on down here. Behind this hair. I mean we have a leg up here, bottom of her foot, and the other leg there, so possibly we can do that here. Put her knee there. It's all hidden behind her anyways, but you still want to know what's going on back there, right? You get this, the bottom of her foot is her hip. That's probably going to be bigger though, but I don't want to draw it out because I don't want to draw anything in front of this character. So then this knee will come like this. Right, so you can see that. And make it more like this. This is why we're keeping it light, so we can change it up if we want to later. Kind of like that. Makes it easier on your eraser if you keep it light. We can change it up. It doesn't have to. We don't have to commit yet. This is a 5-character drawing, so it's not necessarily easy to, do in an hour anyways. So you can forgive me if I'm a little slow at interpreting this, but show me how you do it, and then we can figure it out together. The best way it's done to be done within an hour at least. I want to head down a little more. Again, your eraser is your best friend. Now this is, like I said, it's kind of a warm-up. I'm procrastinating doing another project now, so I'm having fun. I'm just having fun, so let's do something fun. And yeah, erasing is fun. Figuring out how exactly I'm going to make this work is fun. Now this character is a little different from this one. She's kind of younger and she's got bigger eyes. If these weren't big enough, but yeah, okay, let's go ahead and give her bigger eyes. We'll make her smile too. She's like happy to go in and be adventurers with this one here. Keeping in that manga style, because that's the style. And yeah, it is appealing. It is really appealing style. I don't know. A lot of times I'll make a determined face, right? The determined face to me is a little less, I don't know. It's a determined face is. I did make this. I did click. Is this video for kids? I clicked. Sure, why not? Yeah, go ahead for kids. So I have to be careful on what I say. Determined face is a little bit less psychotic than, you know, a face with glee, especially when you're holding two daggers. But that doesn't mean that she's going into to necessarily harm anybody. She might be going in like, listen, here's a warning, and I'm having fun at the same time. You know, who knows? Yeah, it's difficult to tell, but this is why we're keeping it light. As a matter of fact, we won't even go into details on her yet. Let's do the whole rest. At least keeping simple shapes, right? We don't have to get that mouth yet. We can go ahead and work on her hair. She has a very interesting hairstyle. Does she have pointy ears? I can't tell. It looks like she has pointy ears too. Okay. So she's a whole different, it's cute. Alright. And she has a little, something like this. Something like that. Alright. And what is she wearing here? I actually have other reference that I can look at, but let's go ahead and draw those daggers in first. she's got one in each hand. Knuckles. And handle. Alright. Give her some. We'll give her a waist. I mean, looks kind of prepubescent, so she might not have as much of a waist. We'll still give her a little something. A little pinch in the waist there. And oh, screw it, we'll give her that small. And we can always change it. This is why we keep our pencils light. Alright, now let's figure out this hair here. Doesn't look bad so far. I mean, in my opinion. All right. Everybody has an opinion, all right? Just keeping indications. And let's figure out this hairline. We'll go like this. All right. Ear. Let's think about this. Let's figure this out. Let me look at another reference. There's a couple of references. One, she has straighter hair. I guess she went to the salon or something. And the other one, her hair looks a little bit more natural, I guess. So let's find that real quick. Yeah, there. Interesting, hair can be, to me, it's like alfalfa, and I said this before, Little Rascals, his little cowlick. All right, remember alfalfa? Well, his hair was like this, and he had a little thing sticking up, right? And a little... When he tried to sing as a kid, you know, hey, you're big T. Anyways, he called his hair his personality. And I agree. Hair is personality, especially when it comes to stuff like this. I mean, look how Pee-Pee figured it out, right? The hair is totally personality, and I always say this, and it's always good to see when illustrators put that into practice. There we go, that's what I'm talking about right there. She's got, and we can always change this, work it out. I just want a simple shape to indicate how the hair moves. All right. And for fists, 4 knuckles, 4 fingers. Alright, got that happening there. You want to make sure that you're keeping in mind your primitive shapes or your primary shapes or forms, which are tubes, circles, and what have you. Maybe this video was not for kids, but if they want to watch me draw, that's fine. They can watch me draw. Let's not put her chest out too much because she does have. Let's get the shapes down first. I'm over here thinking ahead. Let's get these other two characters in before we even go further. I just want the basic, it really goes like that. So I get that silhouette, right? At least behind her arm. Keeping it fun and simple, right? Because fun is fun. And simple is oftentimes, what do they say? Sometimes less is more. And that's exactly what simplicity is. So let's go ahead and find another reference of the male characters. There's two male characters. Once again, I'm not positive of their names. We'll put one here and one here. Which one goes where? I don't know. Which is of more importance? I'm not positive, and I hate to, admit, but at the same time, I just recently well, not too recently, maybe about 3 or 4 months, I just discovered PP Mangaka, so I'm not very familiar with her characters, but she does have some reference online. Not much, and most of the reference is very low res, and I understand that. You don't want, to put something that's... You don't want people to be oversaturated with advertisements. You would rather present the product to them, which she does, right? Her product is available, I think, on Global Comics and Webtoons, I believe. I'm not positive, but... We'll put the... Seems like there's a main, villain with white hair, so I'll leave this space for him up here. And there's another one who has... I don't know what color of brown that is. It's the light brown. Sometimes light brown can be blonde. His hair is not blonde. It's just light brown. There's no blonde in it. It's all brown, but it's light. So, and he's got an interesting type of anime face too. So let's try... I'm not very good at anime faces, but we're gonna go ahead and try... Let's figure out the angle. I did have it this way, didn't I? But then her dagger's right there, so let's not rush through this, right? I mean, I'm not going to be here for long, but rushing through is not the best thing to do ever. Because when you rush through, you make mistakes. And since her dagger's right there and I don't want to move it, that means I should move his face up, which I should have thought of before I went this far. But that's what happens, right? Simple to correct. I'm going to just head up a little farther so that way I can get his eyes in there right. Keeping simple shapes. What I might want to do is clean that up a little bit more, because a lot of times ghost lines... Now there's two different types of ghost lines, okay? To me, it always meant what I'm doing, I'm erasing any of these previous lines that I put down. I call ghost lines because they leave an echo of what you had just drawn, unless you erase them completely, which is why you should keep your pencil light in the first place. Makes it easier to erase your ghost lines. And the other ghost line, which I heard about this new, is when you practice the line, and this probably is in regards to digital, because traditionally I never heard this term. It's practicing your line before you commit to it, right? Well, ghost lines, right? Makes sense to me. it does make sense. I just was not used to that in that context. So if you believe ghost lines are this or that, then I'm just talking about this particular traditional ghost line. Erase lines that are still persistent and making themselves available, which a lot of times you want, and a lot of times you don't want that, right? Because a lot of times a ghost line or a line that you've drawn but not committed to is still valuable, right? But let's keep it in our head this time and make a clean slate, all right? How do I want his head again? I want his head like more like this. Yeah. Yeah, more like that. Okay. So you're kind of looking more down on him rather than up at him. I want this guy, we're looking up at him. This guy, either down at him or we're more on a horizontal, like the, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. You want him more at a horizontal, like you're eye to eye with him almost. Yeah, I'm not, it's not the first time I've drawn anime style characters. I just don't usually do it, so I'm a little rusty about it. And he might not even look like an anime character at first. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. That eye's too close. That's better. Might be too big, might be too big, but we're gonna stay with it. Because I don't mind, because it's a montage style. I mean, he's got really interesting hair. Talk about character, okay. I might even want to make him smaller, so we'll leave him there for now before I do his hair, right? Marinate. I like the face, so I have to keep that face in mind so that I can shrink it down without having to scan it and or trace it or whatever. And I really like that face. So now let's work on this guy. Up here. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see that guy up there. Maybe I should zoom in. I don't know. No, let's just leave it there. I can't move it anyways. I got everything taped down, so. Let's see. You guys will have to bear with me. I need a new reference of this guy here. The white-haired guy. Looks like he's wearing a cape and a captain's uniform of some sort. Some kind of regalia, which kind of, ooh, looks like he's got wings too. Interesting. It almost looks like a naval type regalia he's got on, but I'm not sure. So he's got more hair in front, so I'm gonna have to move his head back. Let's move his head back. Looking up at him, so we wanna. We want a lot of his costume in there too. Okay. Five characters. So if you guys are interested in stuff like this, you know, go ahead and subscribe, like or dislike, and let's figure this out. He's got very interesting facial characteristics. And yeah. So this is very challenging for me to do. I'm just gonna wing it and have fun. Yeah, I kind of like that face. And his hair is kind of like, okay, let's get his ear first. Since we're looking at up at him, his ear is going to be more at a. Alright, you're looking up at the ear too, yeah. That happens when you look up at somebody. Their ears change, everything changes, the shape of everything changes. So it's good to bear that in mind, pay attention to that kind of thing, observation. Now he's wearing a shirt with a collar and tie. So here's her hair. Let's make sure her hair is in the right place there. All right, and if you're looking down at him, it'll go like this. If you're looking up at him, it's going to be a little less that way. And the tie is going to go right there. We can change that if we want. Let's get his hair right. He's got a part in his hair. Is he wearing an earring? It looks like he's wearing an earring of some sort. And it looks like we're going to have to shoot past that line up here that I created for my composition border, but that's fine because I compensated by using a larger sheet of paper, so I can change those borders whenever I want. It's always good to have that, some kind of safety net, right? And he's got an interesting type pompadour style. All right. Seems to go lower as well. So let's compensate for that and make sure that we have the ability to utilize that if we decide to do so. All right. And yes, interesting. And type wing type things there. And so, and he wears a lot of looks like mascara or eyeliner or something. So, kind of like Ziggy Stardust or whatever. Got eyelashes working. Alright. So far I'm digging the composition. It's like a movie poster style. First issue cover style illustration. This guy though, I think he needs to be a little smaller. So I like his face. So yeah, I'm gonna have to draw it real quick, just so I can remember it. Let's get a tracing of it real quick, right? I am gonna make it smaller. I just like the way it came out. I just want to remember that those simple lines that I used to create it in the first place. Looks like Charles Xavier, right? A young Professor X. That's because he doesn't have any hair. So now I will erase him totally because I don't want any ghost lines, and then I'll just make an attempt to reproduce by eye. Although, to be honest with you, if I were not live streaming this, I would do this the long way, the long and the hard way, which would be to scan it in, shrink it down, yeah, make it perfect, but you know what, let's just go ahead and do it by eye. Alright, keeping, track of, like last time, I wanted his eyes up here, because, yeah, I don't want her dagger handles to interfere with that. So that would mean his chin would come here. And that nose that used to be there has got to go up here somewhere. Right? Maybe I should, yeah, let's move him back a little more so I have some room for his hair. Although I am going to change the, I'm going to enlarge the borders that I originally had, but still, and this is why it's good to concentrate on the larger shapes, because the larger shapes will dictate exactly where he needs to be, and that larger shape would be right here to here, right? Make sure that's where it needs to be. And of course, that's through observation, observing what you did before and how you want it, right? That the neck would be there. And his chest. Either he's lunging forward, which would make his chest come this way, and he'd be more, or we can, I kind of like him lunging forward. Alright, less. We'll have to figure that as well. Yeah, I think that's it right there. Right here. Or, let's think. Are we looking, is he profiling it? Should I make him profile it or what? So he's looking back at you there, right? And that way this would be his back here. Let's think about that. But let's not take too long to think about it, because, yeah, let's get a move on as well. I think he's profiling it. Right? That's what I think. So we're gonna look back at him. So this would be his shoulder. And if that's his shoulder, then it can go all the way out to the border there. Yeah, I like that. And that would mean this, and that would mean ear here. It would look like that way. Simple shapes. We can always change this because I'm keeping it light until I'm satisfied with the whole composition. I just want to have some indications of his hair real quick. And it looks like his hair does a similar thing, but it's wilder. This guy's hair is more, I guess, gelled up. Alright, his hair is more gelled up. Move these lines here. So there you have it. 5. I'm not liking this. I'm not. So let's... This is why you keep it light. It would be nice, maybe if he was smaller and I did that like that. I kind of want his face a little bit more in the shot, though. It's almost like, yeah, pulling away from his this character, and I don't want to do that. I kind of want to emphasize him as well, keeping him at eye level, like I said before. All right, and of course, at this angle, his face is gonna here, and we're gonna have slice right there. Ears coming back here. Yeah, I like that better because that makes his chest a little bit more, in balance with this composition, leaving room for the Ye Olde Treehouse logo. So now that I've decided that, I'm going to go ahead and give my haircut, a little haircut there. And we're going to raise this border up. You probably can't see that because I didn't compensate for my phone. This way we can have the logo here. Got this character here. 2, 3, 4, let's finish him. Got her there, and we could probably, since we raised this up a ½ inch, we can raise this up a ½ inch here. Alright. Yeah, it's cute. Yeah, I like it. Happy with the composition. I rarely draw anime style characters, but there is something appealing about them that I definitely enjoy drawing. And I usually don't because that's, not my first, what do you call it? My first thing like that comes down, I guess, when I draw. But, yeah, maybe I'll draw more. I don't know. We'll see here. Keeping that other sketch I had in mind. This simple line right here reminds me of how they used to draw Fred Flintstone. That simple, boom, 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 right? It's like Fred Flintstone. How was it? I used to draw Fred Flintstone like this. right? It's that same principle as simple line. There you go. Fred Flintstone. So yeah, that simple boom, 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 boom. Same thing. Boom, boom, boom. Anyways. Too close. You gotta keep them 5. It's an interesting thing too when it comes to the manga style characters. They still follow the same principles, and it's interesting. Their eyes are so big, but they're still, like an eye apart from each other, which is like, how do you figure that out? Well, you got to draw it. And that's how you figure out how to do it. Make sure, and their eyes are so big that means the space between them is really kind of large as well. All right, let me see. He's got some long eyelashes too. So, but this guy's got mascara on. I'm telling you, this guy he just has long eyelashes. But this guy he's doing the most. And shit. That's how you can tell he's the antagonist, I guess. don't quote me on that, please. I don't mean that. The guy who's wearing mascara is always the antagonist. What I mean is I don't know, something about his smile and he's just just looking at him, he seems so self-attentive that I don't know, seems like he's gonna be a problem, right? Not that the people who are like that are problems all the time. It's just something about that. Just seems to be high maintenance. I guess. Let's make his chin thinner. Let's make it a little more like this. I don't know. Maybe not. We're keeping it light still so that we can change it up. His hair seems to want to go. Wait a minute. All right, that's the wrong reference. Oops. Let's change that reference. Okay. And nope. It's in another folder. Let's find it. And I have it. Yeah, I'm looking for the reference. So if you want to leave and come back, that's fine. I don't mind. Yeah. That's the grind here. The grind is, what I'm doing right now, figuring it out, and I'm enjoying it. I'm not enjoying looking through my reference, but I'm enjoying working on this illustration. So I guess I should have downloaded. Like I said, she doesn't have much of a reference that's that available in high res. So okay, here we go. Let's have chin pointed down a little bit more. That means if I do that, his... No, keep it like that. I almost feel like he can come back a little bit more too. Because his hair is really... Unless I just don't care about his hair and just do what I feel like. Right? Something like that. We will figure it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I like the composition, so I'm gonna keep that composition where it's at. I'm not sure how old these characters are. They appear to be adults, so. All right, so there we go. I almost feel like she should go, you know what? I almost feel like she should go a little bit back and up higher. Yep, she does. She really does, man. And, you know, sometimes your little warm-ups can turn into a project, so since I am procrastinating, I may as well take it. I may as well take it there. Yeah, no, yes, I think so. I think so. She needs to go a little up higher and behind her, so that way she'll come up front and she'll go up higher. Yep. And that's what we have this for. Right here. For you people who work in digital, yeah, this you don't have to deal with none of this right here. You can just move the character freely without any of this right here, any extra paper. But what I enjoy about doing this kind of thing is I can actually improve her if I wanted to. But I like her the way she is, so I keep her as. Keep her as the same as possible. No, that's right. Not just that, but also let's take a look at her costume as well. Let's see. She looks kind of like she has a sailor suit of some kind on, maybe. Little frilly baby doll type dress. But let's make sure before we get really dedicated. Yeah. All right, I'm using a reference for her costume right now that I see. So, all right, let's go ahead and continue. Make her fist a little bigger since we're going to move her up and back. We can play with that as well. Simple shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back. It's my little fist shortcut that I have for drawing fists. Right. Plural. Arm goes there. And looks like she has right. And she has some kind of short sleeve style. May as well draw through how the rest of her body is going to be. Position, center line, making sure to compensate for all of, what is that, a belt she's wearing? I'm not positive. Looks like she has a belt going like this. Right? And she has a frilly dress, which will just go like this. Right. Keep that simple shape there. And then we'll okay. And I mean, we could go ahead and draw our legs. Why not? And we'll draw one leg up here. Maybe it's coming out like that. A little skinnier since she's, you know, a little younger. All right, simple. Let's make sure that dress covers her. All right, just a simple gesture lines. And that's a nice shape right there, so. Actually, I need to erase her, but let's codify, so to speak, what I have here first. Okay? Just so we don't lose any of, because I really like that, man. I'm kind of losing a little bit of it, but like that excitement in her eye, I'm losing a little bit. But you know what? I'm just gonna have to commit it to memory, and you know, make it work. I used to watch Jim Lee. I still watch Jim Lee draw, but I used to watch him. First time I started watching him, and he would erase stuff that I was like, no, that was perfect. But he knew better, and he knew how to exercise his eraser. He knew how to exercise his eraser. He knew to exercise his fear and his go-to-itiveness and his like, listen. If something's wrong with it, fix it before you finish, right? he exercised that, yeah. So let's do that right now. Put her up a little higher there. I like that. See, even right now, the composition is getting better, right? Now her knife is where I didn't want her knife, with his eye, right? So move her back. I think that looks good. And lunge her forward a little bit more like that. Yeah. That looks good, right? I think so. So yeah, I like to when I'm drawing or practicing or doing a study, I like to press myself as far as I can go rather than just doing one character. I like to character max. It's five altogether right here, right now, so it's not bad. We move her hair, make it more motion. And like I said before, another reason why I like to trace my own stuff is that I can actually push and pull a little easier that way. All right, I can change things up, try to make them better or different if I wanted to. So yeah, I encourage you guys to trace your own work, and you will be amazed on how much you can actually learn, right, from tracing your own stuff, considering that you're not tracing someone else's, you know. It's like, wow, I just learned how to draw something in a different way because I traced my own work rather than tracing someone. Of course, maybe you want to look at reference when you do that. I mean, or not. Or not. Just trace your own stuff and change it up a little bit here. You can change the angle a lot of times. You could change a lot of things. Using those simple shapes, you get, after a while you start to get develop a shortcut for your lines. So you've drawn them so many times before, especially when you're tracing your own stuff. It's like, oh well, this is how I do shortcuts on that line, so I will do shortcuts like that again. And after a while, they begin to click, and they become intuitive. Right, boom, 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 right? All right. There we have it. A nice, not that I'm leaving yet. Unless it's already been an hour and a half, maybe I will. But if it has been, then I'm gonna hang out for a little bit longer just to detail these characters a little bit more, because I'm procrastinating. And what better way to procrastinate than to You know, be productive. This is productive procrastination. But dude, you need to be working on that other thing. You know what? I'm letting that marinate. And I just can't, I can't not draw. I can't. So if you have the same problem as me in that regard, then put that other project down, let it sit and marinate. And if you want, go ahead and work on something else for fun or for, what have you. For whatever reason, being productive and procrastination. And you know what? Going outside, touching grass, and enjoying, the external world is definitely productive. Not as productive as if maybe you washed the dishes or did some laundry, but at the same time, it's good for you. How do you draw hands like this? Easy. No, it's not easy. I wish I could tell you it's easy, but it's not. Right? You see that gesture I got in that hand? That's basically from, and I can't find the original illustration at this moment. It's right here. Now, I did draw this hand from my own reference, from looking at my own hand. So having done that recently, I can probably draw it without, and then make it more stylized. This is the thing, the less you draw from reference, the more stylized your stuff can look. You just have to remember the pieces and parts, right? So let's give her long fingernails, right? Okay, now there's 3 parts to every finger. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The middle finger's longer. We got a knuckle up here, a knuckle here, and a knuckle right there on the hand, right? And everything is a tube, so it comes like this. Boom, boom, boom. All right, and there's the first, like the upper padding, like that, right? And we're looking at it from this angle, so we have to keep that in mind as well. I don't want to get too detailed because I want to keep it more simplistic than that, but just to show you what I'm talking about, right? That knuckle there, that knuckle there, that knuckle there. These fingers kind of go like this. You have another one here, and you get that knuckle there, that knuckle there. That finger will wrap around there. You have the top of the hand here. You'll have the palm, which comes out to the thumb. There's a knuckle there, and then there's a finger right there, right? Simple, right? Nah, not simple. It's never simple. It's always difficult, unless you do it a million times, then it becomes easier. Excuse me, don't smoke. Where's my eraser at? Right here. Just bear that in mind. If you're somebody struggling with things, I guarantee you the more you work on things, the less you'll struggle with things. And that's a wonderful thing. All right. And hand like this. Or just go ahead and get you some AI and, take the shortcut. I'm not gonna go ahead and encourage that, because there's really no encouragement at all. You encourage someone to do something that's, unwantable, right? You don't encourage someone to go, I encourage you to go eat some cake and ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Who needs courage for that, right? Nobody. So you don't need any encouragement to use AI. It's just like eating ice cream and cake. So, but you encourage somebody to do something difficult, right? In the benefits, or in the, not the benefits, in the, encourage them to do something difficult, so that it will benefit them, right? In a hypothetical long run, right? So let's keep that in mind, I guess. And like I said before, I drew all these shapes out really simplistically so that way I can manage them um, in that hypothetical future which has arrived. Right? 'Cause every future is hypothetical, but as you can see, you know, here we are in that future, and I have covered my back and what's the word? I covered my back by making sure, right, that I can compensate myself within that hypothetical future. So you have to look that, I don't want to say deeply, I guess it is deep, but that far, deep, far, I guess far is deep, right? Okay, so what her outfit looks like. She has an awesome, her outfit looks kind of like, I don't know, some kind of, I'm gonna compensate for some boobage here. Like a Barbie action adventure, you know what I'm saying? Like some safari almost type. I'm not positive, but it's cute. Yeah, it's really cute. So let's give her that safari adventure outfit she's wearing there. Short sleeve jobbies. She probably has sew lines, I guess, tailor lines, and some abs, some abadabbas. What was that? Body by Jake used to say that, the abadabbas. Hip there, down lower there. So yeah, if you're like me, you like to draw more than just, you know, one character, then you might enjoy this. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Like, I know this might be a little bit more difficult for people like just learning, but yeah, I encourage you, if you're just learning, go ahead and character max. All right, keep the hammer off your face, okay? Let's not looks max here. Let's character max, and try to draw as many characters on a page as possible because it looks cool. All right. Tie goes right there. Okay. That's this part in his hair there. Maybe not. All right. All right. So there we have simple 5 characters, leaving room for the logo here. Nice composition. Didn't take long to do. This is just a I don't know if it's it started out as a warm-up, but we're going to commit to it, and we're going to take it to finish here. Let me check the time, because if it's over an hour, I hate to punish people, right, watching over an hour, but if it is over an hour and a half, I will cut off, and I will come back and I will finish this tonight. An hour and a half. Wow, excellent. All right, well, I'm going to cut this off and be right back so you guys don't have to watch 3 hours of this. All right, later.